Welcome to tonight's coaching video. Gentlemen, got another brilliant article for you tonight called Here's Why It's Totally Okay to Be Single in Your 30s. So we have yet another damaged woman over the age of 30 that couldn't hang on to a man, that rode the carousel in her 20s, continues to ride the carousel, doesn't want to submit to a good man, doesn't want to find a good man, wants to kick all the nice guys in the balls so she continue to live it out. Oh, free, strong, independent woman, partying, clubbing every night. Endless stream of first dates with don't never work out. Now she's gonna sit here and educate you on why it's okay to be just like her. So let's crack into tonight's coaching video. Traveling at the moment, by the way. I don't know why. Like the videos, like it looks like there's this green hue around me, as if I'm the Green Goblin out here. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, pretty nice. Might fit the tone of the video. So let's shoot into this, shall we? Let's go. Okay, so this is from the Times of India, as I've been hearing more and more from my Indian followers over there. You guys are getting quite perturbed because a lot of the women are going woke on you, and all I have to say is you're completely right. Right? They most likely are. Hang on one quick sec. All right, so let's shoot on with her story here. Here she is, lovely young Indian woman. Well, lovely young aging Indian woman. When you're in your 30s, you have all sorts of friends who are now either engaged or married with kids. Yeah, because that's what you're supposed to do as a female if you want to have a family. If you don't want to have a family and you just want to chase your career, then you go do that, woman. But don't sit there and complain about how you can't find good men after the age of 30 and how guys are just using you as a plastic F doll to come over in the middle of the night and then he leaves, I never see him again. Take some accountability here. Yeah, I don't want to hear this, but yeah, you're supposed to have kids in your before the age of 30. You hear a lot of conversations with your girlfriends that start with, I'm getting married. Because again, that's what you're supposed to do. You should seriously think about settling down, girlfriend. These are the years when your friends will be giving you a detailed insight into how married life actually is and how it changes you as a person. And here you are, single, independent, and extraordinarily happy with life. Okay, these damaged females over 30 always talk about how they're extraordinarily happy with life, but yet they spend their days on Times of India or other websites writing articles like this about how happy they are, trying to convince you, I'm happy. Can't you see? I write all these articles all day. I'm happy while you're raising your kids, picking them up from school, going to their school recitals and their programs and graduations and vacations at Disneyland and being a cohesive family unit. I'm happy. I'm writing these articles in my quiet, cold little studio apartment that I'm overpaying for in a crap part of the city where it's dangerous and there's crime everywhere and there's no man to protect me. I'm happy. I'm happy. They always have to say that. It's a very common misconception that if you're a single woman in your 30s, you must be miserable. Yeah, they are. Okay, most of them sadly are, and they'll never admit it, but you can see it in their persona, the way they behave, the way they treat other people, the way they go Karen on everybody, especially during the Roni when people wouldn't wear a mask. They were like, hey, mister, you're putting all our lives at risk. You know, the chicks wearing a mask, you know that they didn't have no man or any family to worry about. That's why they have all day to watch you and tell you how to live your life and correct you. It's a very misconception. No, it's not a misconception. You are miserable. But only you know it's true. Even the stats will back me on that. Women get more miserable as they get older if they're single. But only you know it's not true. And at this age, you don't even wish to prove people wrong with their petty thoughts. Petty thoughts? Okay. Obviously, again, women do not like truths. They like lies. Since you are no longer the person you were in your 20s, You no longer have the same here we go. You no longer have the same insecurities. You now have enough life experience to know what you want out of life, and especially what you don't want out of life. I just imagine her doing that with her hand. Your 30s are the years where you are more secure and confident than ever. Yeah, exactly what every high-value man is looking for, guys. We're looking for a woman who is more secure and more confident than ever, who has all this life experience, who knows herself, has a corporate job, and can't shut up about herself and can't keep coming at us and breaking our balls every single day. It's exactly what men want. A non-submissive, loud, mouthy, arrogant, egomaniacal, masculine person who claims she's female. Yeah, that's exactly what all the high value guys. We don't want the submissive young women that want to bear our children and want to listen to us and want to make our home peaceful and neat and clean up and be quiet and cook. We don't want them. No, we want the woman who knows herself in her 30s, who's banged all of these different random men, right? That's been yacked up inside her butthole, her vagina, her mouth, on her face. We want that. We don't want this young little girl. She doesn't know what she's doing. Never had sex with anybody. She's a virgin. Maybe only just slept with her high school boyfriend. No. She's submissive. She's ready to get married. No, we don't want her. We want you, the loudmouth. Yeah, exactly. She goes on to say, you don't have to rush just because it's right according to the society. What society? Gone are the times when you let people make decisions for you for how to live your life. Being single in your 30s doesn't mean you weren't with someone you thought you'd spend the rest of your life with. It also doesn't mean you'll stay single for the rest of your life too. Actually, it does mean you'll stay single for the rest of your life. Because how many of these damaged females over 30 do you actually see get married? Very, very, very few. And if they do, it's usually in their very early 30s. From their mid-30s on, all bets are off. Okay? And again, the statistics will back me up on this, right? I mean, the older you get as a unmarried woman, the more hopeless it gets that you're ever going to find your forever man. Instead, you're just, as I said earlier, just going to go on an endless stream of first dates with guys that, some of that just won't work out, and some of them where they'll work out for a couple of weeks, couple of months if you're lucky. They'll just come around and bang you. You'll be instead of finding your forever man, you're going to be everyone's forever side chick. Okay? So instead of finding your forever man, you're going to be everyone's forever side chick. Because that's all that these damaged chicks over 30 end up becoming, right? This is not my opinion. This is reality, right? You could observe this in the world for yourself. I don't know why I get hated on for spewing facts. I mean, not only will the facts and statistics back me up, but reality out there. Just go out there and you'll observe this for yourself. How many weddings, when's the last time you've been to a wedding where a 45-year-old woman was getting married to her dream man? When's the last time you went to a wedding where it was a 50-year-old, like old and aging harpy that's turned super masculine finding her forever man and then them staying married? No, you don't. This doesn't happen, right? When you go to weddings, they're usually much younger couples, aren't they? There's a reason for that. Okay. But for now, as long as it takes to find the right one, you're single and life is easy. It's good to come home post-work, close the door behind you, and spend time alone. You're going to be doing a lot of that. You're going to be alone a whole lot, so get used to it. It's good to cook for a single person and pamper yourself with treats every now and then. You're going to be cooking for that single person for pretty much the rest of your life. It's going to be you from this point on, because all you've done your entire life so far is make it about you, and you continue to make it about you, and you just want to find some poor sucker who makes six figures and is over 6 feet tall that can come into your picture, that could easily get women 12, 15 years younger than you to choose you magically, right? And just throw away his own value and just essentially submit to you and be there as basically your slave, right? I mean, I've always said these girls are just looking for somebody who fits their suit. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be your Johnny Bravo. Watch that episode, guys. Brady Bunch with Johnny Bravo. It's pretty funny. It's an old one. Super old. Being a single woman in your 30s can also mean you are trying to get to know men of different tastes. She's literally admitting she's riding the carousel. Being a single woman in your 30s can also mean you are trying to get to know men of different tastes, or try to taste men of different tastes, right? That is essentially what she is literally sitting there, as many of these women often do, without realizing they're doing it. They're admitting they ride the carousel. She is talking about an assortment of men, a variety pack of men, almost like a box of chocolates, right? Just a variety pack that she can taste and try for. And she's going to be doing this for the rest of her days. I mean, these chicks will remain single. They keep these dating apps in business. It could also mean you have no intention to look for a man until you feel truly ready. When will you feel truly ready? I mean, at 40, 50, 60, 70, when you're 6 feet under? When are you going to feel you're truly ready? Because if you don't know before you turn age 30, ladies, you're never going to know. This is why I call these chicks the DG. If she doesn't know what she wants before she turns 30, done, right? If this chick is over age 25 even, that's my parameter, right? If she's over age 25 and doesn't know, she's already heading towards the DG. So she goes on to say, it definitely doesn't mean that you're unhappy. Whoever thinks you are doesn't know your life story. Actually, we do, because women all like to think that they are so unique and so different from each other. This is why they will always say things like, "Oh, I'm not like other girls. Sure, I have monkey branch like every other woman out there. Sure, I get my panties in a bunch like any other woman out there when you give me truths and not lies. I'm not like those other women though." Right? No, they are, right? They are, especially these women over 30. You're all the same, right? I mean, I hate to say all, but mostly all the same, right? Maybe there's a few outliers, right? There's a few misfits out there that, for whatever reason, they're still single in their 30s. They might be virgins still. That's great. But you know what? That is not the overwhelming majority of 30-year-old women you're going to come across out there. The overwhelming majority of 30-year-old plus women you're going to come out there are damaged goods, have been riding the carousel throughout their 20s, banging guys in different countries and different continents, and then coming back here, after they're already post-wall, post 30 years old, and wanting to find a good traditional man who will just treat me right. I'm ready to welcome my forever man. Get real. Just get real. You could be a financially successful lady with a wonderful career, or a woman who chooses to stay single for coming years. No, after the age of 30, you're not choosing to stay single. You have to stay single, because the high-value guy you could have got 10 years earlier doesn't want you anymore. So, as I've always taught you guys, these women will forever chase that invisible carrot around the racetrack, right? They'll just chase that carrot around the racetrack for the rest of their days, thinking they can get it, I'm almost so close, and then failing. And then the next guy, I'm almost so close, and then failing. And meanwhile, they're banging all these other random guys on the side that just keep her from getting too lonely, out of convenience. I mean, it's scary. It's really gross and sickening, the amount of guys that these chicks have, like, the amount of penises they've had up inside of them that don't get married, right? Ugh. Where were we? You could have a bunch of supportive friends and a family that is very protective of you. Don't ever let anyone tell you how being single in your 30s is quite a dull way to lead life, because it isn't. No, it's not. I mean, it's very adventurous, right? If you like that sort of thing. Because every day it's like being on a roller coaster, right? And you never get off that roller coaster. It's like one day it's like, wee, we're going through the loop. He's not calling me. Wee! And then the next day you're going through this other hoop, and you're like, oh my gosh, oh, this one's so fun. Wee! He's making me cry. Oh my gosh, he's not returned my calls after he had sex with me once. He just totally goes to me. Wee! yay! And then the next day you're like down here, you're down there. It's like a never-ending carousel ride, but on a roller coaster. They can't get enough. That's why they become the DG guys over 30. They can't just be in a healthy relationship with a healthy guy and just be happy with that. They can't, right? They have to create some sort of drama. They have to look for some sort of friction. They just have to make everything about them. This is why we call it NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, which many of these women over 30 have. This is what gives them the lack of self-awareness to write articles like this in the middle of the night and then talk about how happy, I'm so happy. While all these married people actually raising families and doing good for society are the devil. And she closes up with, you're the author of your story. And only you have the authority to write your life story. So make it a good one. Did this chick just watch Back to the Future 3 or something? Yeah, the future's whatever you want it to be. So make it a good one. That's what Doc Brown said at the end, right? Say this as a DeLorean owner. But that's funny she ended with that. It sounded like she just watched Back to the Future 3. Which many of these chicks, I'm sure they wish they could try and travel backwards. But I don't think they would fix their mistakes. I think they would just ride the carousel all over again. Regardless, guys, let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Let me know what you think of her article here. Let's get her back up on the screen. There she goes. Get her back up here. Yeah. Let me know what you think of her and her story here from the times of India. What you have to say about it, anything you'd like to add or anything I missed, drop them in the comments below. Always love to see you guys, my comments. Always love to read your comments. And drop those comments below. Also, don't forget to smash the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Okay, helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm when you hit all three of those: subscribe, notification bell, and the like button. Hit all three of those. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this high-value content I'm teaching you, the best way to support me, if you love what I'm teaching you here, is to jump into 7 Months of Mastery. That's where I teach you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, most beautiful-looking women in the world. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, not these damaged harpies over 30, single moms, divorced moms. No, right? Talking to you, I can teach you how to get the cream of the crop, right? The late teens, early 20s, before they turn 25, obviously within legal range up here, over 18 to 25. That's basically our bread and butter in 7 Months of Mastery. And I teach you where to find these girls. I teach you how to walk up to them, how to talk to them, how to cold approach them. And right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. And obviously you're going to be supporting my work at the same time while getting value out of it. So it's a win-win, win-win. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I'll see you in my next coaching video.